Good morning to everyone. So in this session we will discuss about the introduction of artificial intelligence as well as the intelligence of neural networks and how artificial intelligence and neural networks are interrelated with one another. Okay. So in this session we will see how artificial intelligence and neural networks are interrelated with one another. Okay. So in this regard, first we will start discussing about the introduction of artificial intelligence. So first of all, what is AI? What is artificial intelligence? So artificial intelligence is nothing but artificial intelligence is a branch of computer science that deals with systems that exhibit some form of intelligence. So here the main intention of artificial intelligence is to make the systems intelligent. To make the systems intelligent means the systems should be in a position to think like human, to act like human, to think rationally and to act rationally. Okay. So we the human beings, we are able to think, we are able to do all our day-to-day life. So whatever the activities we are doing in our day-to-day life, all those activities are being done by us, by ourselves only, without guidance from any other person. So in such a way, we should make a system, we should develop a system which can act like human, which can think like human, which can act rationally, which can think rationally. In such a way, we have to develop a machine. Okay. So this is what the definition of AI says. AI is a branch of computer science that deals with systems that exhibit some form of intelligence. Okay. So here coming to here, see, that can think like human, that can act like human, that can think, that can learn new concepts and draw useful conclusions. See here, if we were given some 5 statements, suppose we the human being, if we were given 5 statements, we are in a position to draw more than 10 conclusions. We are able to conclude 10 conclusions by using these 5 notations or 5 statements. In such a way, the AI based machine should also be in such a position that it has to conclude or it has to draw some new conclusions from the existing data, right? Okay. So what is intelligence here? Intelligence is nothing but intelligence is the ability to acquire knowledge and apply it when needed. So intelligence is nothing but intelligence is the ability to acquire knowledge and apply it when needed. So whenever we need the intelligence, we are supposed to use the knowledge what we have in our brain. Okay, then only we say that we are intelligent. Though we have knowledge in our brain, and if we don't use that, then we don't call ourselves as an intelligent person. Okay, so whom is called as an intelligent person? Intelligent is nothing but the person who acquires knowledge and applies that knowledge when and there required. Okay, that person is simply called as an intelligent person. Okay, so there are 4 categories of AI theories. Okay, so first one is the system that think like human, that can act like human, that think rationally, that act rationally. So we will see these in detail one by one. So coming to the first one, system that think like human. Okay, while developing the artificial intelligence system, okay, it has to follow 4 theories or there exists 4 categories, okay, of AI theory. They were nothing but the system should think like human, it should act like human, it should think rationally, it should act rationally. Coming to the first point, so we should make a system that think like human means whatever the AI based machine we are going to develop, it should think like human means we the human being, if we perform any task or any activity, okay, so whatever the human being performs, if the human being performs any task or any activity or any action, in that the human being gets benefited. Unless until we are benefited, we don't do that. Yes or no? Unless until we are benefited, we don't do that. For example, if you go for shopping, what we do? Suppose if you go for shopping to buy some new clothes, what we will do? We will consider the quality of the cloth, okay, and whether it is a new model or not, quality, model, as well as a price. By considering all these factors only, we will choose whether to buy or not. Means we the human being has some assumption in our mind. By keeping in view of that, we are going and deciding whether to buy that or not. Similarly, if we go for buying a car, so if we go to buy a car, then what we will consider is, we will consider all the factors like the model of that car, whether it is diesel version or petrol version, and the mileage of that car, and its resale value, as well as its basic price. So by considering all those factors only, we will choose whether to buy or not. Similarly, here whatever the AI based machine we are going to develop, that machine should be in a position that it has to take the decision by itself. Okay. By considering all the factors, by taking all the inputs, it should be in a position to think by itself. Okay. So the human being, whatever the action the human being performs, what the human being will do is, whatever the action which gives maximum benefit to him, he will try to perform that action only. Suppose if there are 4 options which gives 90% benefit, 80% benefit, 60%, 40% benefit to the user. So now the human being performs this action. Why? Because out of these 4 available options, out of these 4 available actions, since this gives maximum benefit to the human being, he will try to perform that action. Like that, in such a way we have to mold, or we have to construct, or we have to build the AI based machine. So that's what the AI based machine should think like human. So human being will keep on thinking whatever the way the human being thinks. In the similar fashion, the AI based machine which we have developed should also be in a position to think like that. Okay, that is regarding think like human. Coming to the second one is act like human. In order to explain this task, there is a test by name Turing. We will see that. So this is a Turing test. This Turing test was introduced by a scientist by name Alan Turing. Okay, so this Turing test was proposed by a scientist by name Alan Turing. So in his name, it was named after Turing test. So here what happens is, so inside a room, so this is a house. Assume that this is a house, and the house consists of 3 rooms. Okay. 3 rooms. So the interrogator will be placed in one room. The interrogator will be placed in one room. The AI based machine is said to be placed in another room, and human being is placed in another room. Now the interrogator is free from asking any number of questions to both the AI based machine as well as human being. The way he can interact is through telephone, landline. So let us suppose here there is a landline. Okay. The interrogator is free from asking any type of questions to the AI based machine as well as to the human being through telephone. He don't know where, in which room the AI based machine is and in which room the human being is. So hope you are following. The interrogator don't know where the human being is and where the AI based machine is placed. But he can interact with both the persons through telephone. Okay, and he is free from asking any type of questions and any number of questions. Finally, if he identifies exactly where the human being is and where the AI based machine is, then we can say that this AI based machine is a failure one. Suppose if the interrogator fails to identify where exactly the human being is and where exactly the AI based machine is, then we say that this AI based machine is said to be a successful one. Okay, this is what the Turing test says. Okay, so the Turing test is for what? The Turing test is for to check whether the AI based machine which was developed by us is a successful one or not. In order to test that, we have this Turing test. Okay, we'll go back. So that is second one. First one we have seen, second one we have seen. Next, third one is system that think rationally. System that think rationally. Suppose system that think rationally. Suppose if there is an example like Sachin is an Indian, and another statement like Sachin is a cricketer. Suppose if there are two statements like Sachin is an Indian, Sachin is a cricketer. Okay, these are two different statements. Suppose if we ask, is Sachin an Indian cricketer? So if anybody asks this question, so if the human being is given these two sentences, Sachin is an Indian, Sachin is a cricketer. If the human being is given these two sentences, definitely the human being says yes. But if we give the same to the machine, computer, so the computer is given two statements, that is nothing but Sachin is an Indian, Sachin is a cricketer. It will compare these two statements with this, and it will give the output as no. Why? Because this statement was not stored inside the machine. That's why it will say no, this statement is wrong. But actually if we give these two statements to the human being, the human being says yes, Sachin is an Indian cricketer from these two. That's what we have discussed. So drawing some new conclusion from the existing data or existing information or existing statements. Okay, that's what the author is telling. Okay, so this is thinking rationally. The system, the AI-based machine which was being developed by us should be in a position to think rationally. Okay, it should think rationally. Okay, that is regarding this one. Third one is over. Next, coming to the fourth one, system that act rationally. System that act rationally. So, system that act rationally is nothing but, so we the human beings, for example, if you are walking by road, okay, suddenly if the rain starts, immediately what we do? If we have umbrella in our hand, immediately we take that umbrella and we will open that umbrella. Okay, after that we will start moving. Otherwise, if you don't have umbrella, what we do? We will rush towards the roof. Okay, we will rush towards the roof. That's what the human being does. Suppose if an insect, if a mosquito or an insect is biting you, immediately what we do? With the help of sensors, we will get the input and we will immediately beat it. Okay, so we are acting rationally. Suppose if we keep our hand inside the hot water, if the water is too hot, if we keep our hand inside the hot water, what we do? Whenever we feel the hotness, immediately we will take our hand out of that water. So that's what acting rationally. So the AI based machine what we are going to develop should also be in a position that it should act rationally. Okay, that's what the other is telling. So these are the four categories of AI. It has to think like human, it has to act like human, it has to think rationally, and it has to act rationally. Okay. So two tests we have seen. Now we will see the introduction of neural network. What is neural network? A neural network is nothing but it's a massively collection of neurons interconnected with one another. So what is neural network? Neural network is nothing but neural network is a collection of massively connected neurons which are connected to one another. Okay. So here see all these are number of neurons. Approximately every human brain consists of approximately 10 to the power 12 neurons. Means every human brain consists of billions of neurons. All these neurons are interconnected with one another. Okay. So we will see how a neuron looks like. See, this is how a neuron looks like. This is a single neuron. Okay. See, all these are dendrites. Okay. All these are dendrites. See, dendrites. Cell body. Cell body can also be called as soma. Okay, cell body can also be called as soma. So this is cell body. Okay, cell body can also be called as soma. Inside the cell body we have nucleus. Okay, inside the cell body we have nucleus. So what happens is these dendrites. So see, the dendrite of one neuron is connected with the axon of another neuron. So this is axon. This is axon. See. This long one is axon, okay, and these are all dendrites. All these are dendrites. So what happens is, so all the neurons are interconnected with one another. When they are connected with one another, the dendrite of one neuron is connected with axon of another neuron. See, this is dendrite. This is connected with axon of another neuron. This is connected with axon of another neuron. This is connected with axon of another neuron. Like that, all the neurons are connected with one another. The place where two neurons are connected, we call it as synapse. Synapse, S-Y-N-A-P-S-E, synapse. So the place where two neurons are connected is called as synapse. Okay. So here, so sometimes if a person is mentally disabled, we call him as that fellow don't have anything inside the memory. That is nothing but nucleus. Okay. So the dendrites will collect the input. The dendrites will collect the input from various sources and they will send to the cell body. Inside the cell body we have nucleus. So the inputs which was sent from dendrites, that will be processed here. Okay, that will be processed here, and the action will be sent through axons, and the actions will be sent through axon. Okay. For example, I will tell you a simple example. Suppose if a mosquito or an ant is itching you or biting you. Okay, if it is biting you. So we have different sensors. We have different sensor organisms in our body. So our eyes, ears, nose, skin, all these are different sensors. So with the help of sensor, we are getting the input. The input is sent to our brain that something is biting you. Okay. Immediately, we will see towards that. When we see, we have identified that it's a mosquito or it's an ant. Immediately, so that information was sent here. Immediately, it will tell you to perform a task. Okay, that is nothing but with the help of actuators, we will perform some action. So immediately we will bite it, or we will beat it, or we will throw it out like that. Okay, so we have dendrites will take the input and gives that input to the cell body. Inside the cell body we have nucleus and that information will be processed here, and what to do? That information will be performed. The action will be performed with the help of actuators. That is axon. So see here. So all the neurons are interconnected with one another. So here, why AI and NN? Why AI and NN are interconnected is artificial intelligence is. See, we will go back. So here, artificial intelligence, neural networks. So here, when you want to make the system intelligent artificially, first you should know how the neurons are working. I mean, in the human brain, every human brain consists of billions of neurons. So how the human neurons are working by themselves, and how the human being is able to perform different types of actions by himself. The human brain is able to understand different types of information, and he is able to generate some new statements, some new thoughts, some new innovations. So like that, the scientists, they first started studying about the neural network, means the BNN, biological neurons. or biological neural network. BNN is nothing but biological neural network. That is nothing but the human brain. The researchers, they first started studying about BNN, biological neural network. Why? Because their intention is to make the system intelligent. Artificially. Okay, their intention is to make the system intelligent artificially. The researchers, their main intention is to make the system intelligent artificially. In order to make the system intelligent artificially, so making the system intelligent means it should act like human, it should think like human, it should act rationally, it should think rationally. In order to do that, first they started studying about biological neuron. BNN is nothing but biological neuron. How the human brain is working and how the human neurons are working. How many number of neurons are there inside the human brain. Like that they started studying about BNN. Okay. So now what they have started doing is they started to develop ANN. Artificial Neural Network. Artificial Neural Network is nothing but this artificial neural network was started building from the inspiration taken from BNN. BNN is nothing but biological neural network, means the neural network which we have inside our brain. That is biological neural network. So that is biological neural network. By taking the inspiration from biological neural network, the researchers, they started constructing, they started building artificial neural network. And still the research is going on. See, we will see. So this is the artificial neural network. Okay, the artificial neural network consists of these are input units, this is output unit, and these are hidden layers. Okay, so these are input units, output unit, hidden units. Okay, so all these are connections. See, so this is, let us suppose this is I1, I2. Okay, so this is W1. So it will have some weights. So I1, W1. So W1 is nothing but weight of first input. Okay, W2 is the weight of second input, let us suppose. Okay, I1, W1. Okay, so this is nothing but, this is I2, W1, like that. So the connections were given from input unit to the hidden unit, or hidden unit to output unit, like this. The connections were given, and we started, the others, the researchers, they started doing, or they started working on artificial neural network, right? This is how artificial intelligence and neural network were connected. Okay, so with this we will wind up the session. Thank you.